pounds of shit. That's why I'm really doing smoke. I run everything. I became a vegan. I don't have to drink that much. A big glass and I'm straight. Only because I smoke all day and then I don't eat
Like red meat.
no animal products.
So it's not like holding on to nothing.
Nothing soaking it up.
Yeah.
No animal products, period. So
One day I'm gonna try to go. I might try to go that way for Lent
I
or
do
something.
too. But like I said, something woke up in me, and when it did, I couldn't eat meat no more. I couldn't drink liquor no more, even though I still be fighting with that every now and then. And I heard music way different after that. What I could hear in music after I woke up was just bananas. I could hear it. I had the ability to hear it forwards and backwards at that point. And though I have been playing guitars, it seemed like all my life, when that really happened, what I could hear and what I could do on a fretboard opened up for me. Because I'm a classically trained trumpet player.
Okay.
So me actually playing the bass is very, very foreign, but I play tuba, so I understand what the runs should be, which makes life a lot easier for me.
That's cool. I played trumpet in middle school. That was like my first like real
Mine's right
instrument I
there.
played.
On the floor over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
got a 3-valve trombone hanging over there.
What'd you start with, instrument wise? Trumpet?
I think I took guitar lessons at 10. No, I got a picture in here of me when I'm 2. I can pull it up later. Sitting at an organ with a pamper hanging out the back of my corduroys. That organ's in the basement here right now.
Oh, really?
No shit. And that's the earliest thing I can remember about music. In church as a kid, I would always go sit by the organist. I didn't want to sit with my parents in church. I wanted to go sit by the organ.
Yeah.
Right? And that progressed until wanting to play guitar at 10 years old. And I think I actually got my hands on a trumpet at 14. And from that point on, I went trumpet, baritone, sousaphone, piano, drums, harmonica. And then I began to really pick up lead and bass really well. And so that, a couple recorders and some other stuff like that. I think through the course of...
I guess how was the transition from like live instruments to production?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm the first generation that had to know how to program drum machines, but I'm the last generation that had to know how to read music. I'm right there.
Yeah.
So when we were programming drum machines, we were programming the same drum patterns that we was hearing on Eric B. and Rakim. I ain't no joke.
Okay.
That's what we were trying to get out of the drum machines we could get our hands on. And those drum machines cost $1,000 and they only had one bank of sounds in them. And if you wanted more sounds, you had to go buy a sound pack for like $200. Right. No, Dave Wackel cards were what the guy who produced them, his name was Dave Wackel. And you had to take one card out of your drum machine, put a new card, reload it, and now you had new drum sounds, but you couldn't use both kits at the same time.
Wow.
That's how new the tech was if you were going to have it in your hands. So we're talking 88 was when I first was really programming drum machines heavy. It was 1988. I was about 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like I have a background in just like band and choir, so I learned how to read music, and I guess that kind of helped me transition into like production.
Sure.
When you're looking at like your software, like your digital workstations and stuff, how do you translate it, or how do you relay like what you learned back at that time?
It's different. It's different because necessity is the mother of all invention, and I didn't have money at that time. This didn't exist. Everybody was buying ADATs and track machines. I had my first sessions were on 2-inch reel, and then to come off a 2-inch reel and go home into a 4-track on a cassette deck, you could obviously hear the difference. Then 6 tracks came along. I was working on those, and we had an 8-track cassette. And then the ADATs came along. But when the ADATs came along, it was $2,000 for 8 tracks. I didn't have the money. I was in my early 20s, late 19, 20. I was playing with Windows Media Player, and I saw that the microphone on the computer actually could record my voice into the computer. And this is like 97. and I know because I was trying to record my voice to do something on AOL, because you could press a button, and if everybody had the file in their computers, then the sound would play. I realized that if I could record my voice on a computer, then it could be a track machine. And I called all over Milwaukee to anywhere that was selling music equipment. No, selling computers, not music equipment, because the music stores would have no clue. I was calling anywhere that sold computers, and they were clueless. Nobody had heard of it. It hadn't existed yet. Then I called Taylor Pro. And Jeff Taylor is one of the guys who founded the program down at MATC that they have right now. He sold me Logic 2.5 in like 1998. So since 1998, I had been looking on digital. I had been looking at digital, and I had to teach myself digital. Well, the thing is that the ADATs played themselves out after about 10 years. So what you had happen was early 2000s, 2001, people were coming off ADAT, jumping heavy into digital, and I was already there. So it made me the authority on it. So I can almost look at it and tell you what word is what word by looking at the blogs.
Yeah.
Right? And now they have technology where you can have a tattoo on your arm with one of those on it. You scan something over it, and it'll play that. So it's a graphical representation of music, but it's an accurate one. So for me, I live there. I'm Neo at this point. I can see the fucking numbers, man. You know. No bullshit. I'm as loony as they come.
So since you've been in the game so long, like who are some of your favorite artists that you've worked with, or who do you want to work with?
Oh, I think we got Scarface April. That was the last one that I really wanted. Scarface. I did Too Short last couple months ago, and he was interesting, but that was my second time working with Too Short. Just the first time in the studio. The first time was on a movie set. The person I want to work with most right now is Diana Ross. I think that there is so much value to be put in what they were bringing to the table before auto-tune existed.
Right.
And what it took for her to be Beyonce 20 years before Beyonce. What did it take for her to keep up in the world? Everybody wants to look like Beyonce. Back then, Diana Ross was black. So at that point, culturally, the whole world wasn't trying to look like Diana Ross. Only black people were trying to look like Diana Ross. What did it take for her to be in that position at that point? So I used to want to work with cats like Redman and Snoop and all those guys. I have worked with Corrupt. A few times. I did a KRS-One album. He and I did that. Me and Matt Lyon are really, really great friends. Lonzo from the World Class Wrecking Crew, who discovered Dre and Miss Chalet, is a good homie of mine that I've worked a lot with. And these are guys that I still call and we talk, and we're still good friends. I don't talk to KRS so much, but Matt Lyon I keep up with pretty regularly. It's fun when you get my age and you've been around so long. So like when the Legends concert were here, Short came to the crib, and then I was at the show with Bushwick Bill because he's my homie from the Ghetto Boys. So me and Bill are at the show down there, but I walk in with Too Short, but I'm with the Ghetto Boys for the rest of the night. And then when Big Mike was here last summer, me and Cuckoo, because I was Cuckoo Cal's hype man during the whole Projects run.
Okay.
Last summer for my birthday, me and Cuckoo stepped on stage one more time at the Riverside, and we threw down one last time. And at that show, at the same time, Big Mike, OG Big Mike from the Convicts, who used to be in the Ghetto Boys, he and I are doing an album together right now. And so Big Mike was there. So me and Big Mike ended up kicking it all night. And Chill from Compton's Most Wanted, I used to do records with the Dirty OGs in Los Angeles. That's Corrupt, Chill, Goldie Loke, Weasel Loke, and a couple other them old Crips. They was all in town. So it's dope when you get to this stage of your career when, like, your homie from Compton's Most Wanted, your homie from the Ghetto Boys, and all them come together and you can kick it. And like me and Tretch was together, and I had recorded Tretch a couple times in Los Angeles too. And so me and Tretch's nephew are really close. What's up, Dre? And because of that, when Tretch was coming to town, some cats who had a club in the Wisconsin Dells, because I own a marketing company that represents companies in the Dells.
Okay.
One of my boys who owned the club hit me up and said, "Can you get me Tretch?" It's like, yeah, dope. So I was getting him Tretch, but then Flav ended up coming along for the night. So it's me, Tretch, and Flavor Flav and my boy Alex, all riding along, kicking it. And who would think that in the middle of Wisconsin, and nowhere, there's me, Flav, Tretch, and my boy Alex Tacton, and all, because Alex is driving, and all of us are just kicking it, smoking, drinking. Flav is playing his record for me. I'm listening to Flavor Flav and Migos.
At the same time.
No. They have songs together.
Oh, really?
I've heard Detox.
Oh, wow.
I've heard Detox. I've heard pieces of it, but only because, like, an engineer who's supposed to keep up with their record and who's supposed to, I rapped on it, go and finesse it for me, let me hear what you do with it on the back end. They'll still have those things for you to listen to. Nobody will ever take them. You'll never pull your phone out and record during them.
Right.
But you can hear what was in there. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. So yeah, Flav and Snoop had a dope ass song, and then I heard like Flav and Migos, and that was dope too.
So what are you looking forward to with the beat battle?
Like I'm an OG. 414 official, general. You motherfuckers should be scared when you saw my name on that email. I hope you were. And if you beat me, put that shit on your belt. Put that shit all over social media because it meant something. Other than that, thanks for coming. Dig it. No bullshit about that. I won't play nothing on that video, but I'll play you some shit when we done. You tell me what you
sir. Hey, yes, sir. I'm going to stick around and listen, too, because the little snippet you played, I definitely want to hear more.
Yeah. I won't play there, but you come to that battle, I got some shit, bro.
So you said that you're working on a project now. What else can they look forward to coming out soon?
Oh, man. Alex Tacton. I got another guy named Taurus. Alex's album is called The Automatic Truth. He's a kid out of Menominee Falls. He's the greatest stoner in Wisconsin, period. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody smokes more weed than this guy, I promise you. And we hear him smoke weed together all day, every day. He's the greatest stoner ever, and he lives out in Menominee Falls. He'll never be able to tell a gangster record that happened on 9th Street, where I'm from. But he can tell you what life in Menominee Falls is when he doesn't get that new skateboard he wants for fucking Christmas. So we have an album called The Automatic Truth. And that's who actually has a song with Too Short called Ass and Titties. Yeah, that I don't have a problem with pulling up because it's going to be a release record and it's the first single. And right now I'm in the mastering stage of it. So that's easy to do. Yeah, we got a song with him called Ass and Titties. And then we got a song with Big Mike called Superhero. And that's all on Al's situation. I got another guy named Taurus, and his album is called Prison Art. He did 13 years in prison, and he wrote raps the entire time he was in there. He kept all of them. And then he got out looking for me and re-recording them. I just finished the album for a cat named Rock Mac. Another guy, that album is called Right Away. Another album called Social Just Us is with a guy named Big Craig. That just came out, and luckily, and I'm happy to say that at this point, it's been out like a month and a half, and he's already recouped all of his recording expenses. My album is done. I'm just tweaking and finessing it. I have my own album coming out called The Quest to Reunite Pangea. Finished 2 movies. One's called The Workout Room, starring Joe Torre. The other one's called The Grail. I shot, recorded, not shot with the camera, but I did all the sound on set in Hollywood. And then I mixed them and put them all together here. But The Grail I scored completely too. Depending on your time, I can play you a little bit of that if you have some. I know you guys are filming people and running around, but that kind of stuff. The last thing I did that I'm really, really happy about and I'm always giddy about is I actually mixed the soundtrack to Disney Heroes Battle Mode for the phone. So if you go and download Disney Heroes Battle Mode, I mixed the soundtrack to that, and I did the sound effects for Genie and Aladdin in that video game. I just got a call last week to do some other characters who I wouldn't say on screen because of NDAs and whatnot, but that's dope because every couple months they release new characters in the game. I play it, and it's dope because I play it, so I'm playing the game that I'm making, doing the sound for.
Oh, so you get to see both ends of it.
like who gets to do that, you know? And I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood in Milwaukee, dog, and I'm throwing down for Disney in the hood. It's a paradise for people right now. It's a paradise for people who are independent contractors doing gig work. Because there's a lot of money on the table because Americans ingest over 40 gigs of media a day. It was 10 years ago, so I'm going to assume that we're ingesting more than 40 gigs of data a day. That's a lot of data to keep up with if you're going to keep somebody on Facebook, if you're going to keep somebody on Twitter. Right. So at that point, everybody at some level is employing people like me to help generate media for those services. So as long as you can generate media, the biggest export in the United States of America is entertainment.
So how did you kind of get into contact with them to be able to set those type of projects up?
School.
Mm-hmm.
Went to school, and one of my former instructors is the lead sound guy on the game. And as he's the lead sound guy on the game, he needed some help. And he was one of my coldest students. And you're the only one that doesn't do games. That's because if you get into video games and you're a sound person, forget it. You can't eat for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you know Unity and you understand sound and you can actually put a footstep to a character moving, forget about it. You 6 figures. So the guys that can do what I do, one of them was really cold. Immediately, Disney hired him and gave him a moving budget to go to Anaheim, right? And another one is working for a couple of big companies up in Madison. But this all happened because of Madison Media Institute, which is now closed. R.I.P. MMI. Yeah. Here's a Too Short record. Okay, what's happening, everybody? It's Godxilla. You can look me up, Godxilla.com. If you go to Godxilla.com, Godxilla.com, you can always find all of the rest of my social media on my website where all the videos and other stuff are on there. See you guys at the beat battle. Good luck, man. Let's have fun, good time. Everybody show up good and faded because I will. And that way nobody gets mad if they lose. Just go home and get ready for the next motherfucking battle. Peace.